Numbers of people are affected by the AIDS virus, whether they're fighting the illness or a loved one, friend, a co-worker is dying from the disease. Catherine Stevens brings us the story of one woman whose father recently died of AIDS at a Roseburg hospice.
You know, to lose a parent is hard enough, but the stigma that was behind the whole thing with my dad having AIDS was just, I think that's what killed him.
Kathy Long's father, Charles Smith, died of AIDS in August. She says he apparently contracted the disease through heterosexual sex. It was a shock to the family, but Kathy says her father's illness was even more of a surprise because he and his former wife don't fall into any high-risk groups.
You know, he had never done drugs or, you know, anything like that. They were just, I mean, real typical kind of people. You just wouldn't expect it at all.
Kathy says her father's illness was sudden. He was never diagnosed with HIV before he was told he had full-blown AIDS. A year later, he died in this room at RubyHouse AIDS Hospice in Roseburg. She says she's grateful for the time she was able to spend with him at the care center.
It was much more personal. You know, we were able to express our emotions. There was a lot of support from the staff and the volunteers.
Kathy now volunteers much of her time at RubyHouse. Her stepmother and several friends are also, as she puts it, dying from this cruel disease. On World AIDS Day this year, she wants her message to go out to heterosexuals who she says are still kidding themselves that AIDS won't touch them.
They've got to realize that it's not a gay disease anymore. It's not for just druggies. You know, it's not happening that way. It's coming into mainstream a lot faster than what people realize.
In Roseburg.
Good morning, I'm Michelle Harash. Residents from all over Douglas County are fighting in the battle against the AIDS virus. But at last night's information fair, people called out for more awareness. The World's AIDS Day event was sponsored by the Douglas County AIDS Council and the RubyHouse. The event was designed to get as much information to the public about the disease as possible, but statistics show how much more still needs to be done in Douglas County. According to an official from the state HIV program, Douglas County has the highest number of HIV-positive women-bearing children in the state. People who attended the event gathered these types of facts, plus they had a chance to talk with others who cope with the disease every day. The information fair was followed by a candlelight vigil. The program included music and several guest speakers.